Into the right hands. Smart gets it back. Corner. This could be a killer. Oh, big foul.
Tatum coming up big.
Brown spins, kicks.
Oh, yeah. Smart takes that extra tick to make sure he's lining it up. I tell you what, he should be in this game at the end of it.
The Celtics' core four, particularly their two stars in the Jays, stepped up when it matters most. The Celtics do not let another opportunity slide, beating the Hawks in 6 games. Welcome in here to Celtics Post Game Live. I'm Abby Chin. He's Chris Forsberg. We've also got Eddie House in the house. You guys, the Celtics closed this game on an 18-7 run with their guys taking over. Eddie, what'd you think?
I loved every second of it. I mean, it was nail biting at times, and you were thinking like, well, are we gonna? But none of that happened. None of the doubt in their mind. You know what really happened? They locked down, and Jason Tatum, when he went and dunked it, the look in his eyes, the face that he had, that told me it's a different Jason Tatum. Marcus Smart, he is that 3, the face, and everybody else around him. The way they felt, the way they were able to lock down. And even on that last possession where they had to throw the ball off of Marcus twice and then also throw it off, to me right there, let me know that they were engaged.
Eddie, I'm embarrassed to tell you how loudly I screamed after that Jason Tatum put back.
Can confirm.
That was, yeah.
Don't be
that
embarrassed.
Was the signal,
I was screaming just as loud.
Yeah,
Trust me, I was just as loud at the house.
They were done with the Hawks at that point.
Yeah, and look, everything we hated about the last 5 minutes of the last game, we got the better side of the Celtics here. And so I did think there were some moments where it got a little dicey, but it was redemption for everybody. Al ends up coming back and hitting the 3. Marcus Smart, after a couple bad minutes, gets the faith of Joe Mazzulla to finish this game out, makes a 3 to sort of finish this thing off, and then Jason Tatum giving you the superstar there. And don't lose track of like Jaylen just keeping you afloat pretty much throughout this game. Every time it got a little bit, they felt like they might race away. Jaylen was there for you. So everyone has a hand in this thing. Grant coming off the bench, you can just run down the list. This is what will separate the Celtics moving forward, is their depth and their impact players going up against Philly and whatever comes after that. And so very nice to see everybody sort of have a hand in this and getting them to the finish line.
We're going to go through that fourth quarter and all those incredible, impactful plays down the stretch. But first, we want to hear from one of the Celtics' brightest stars, and that is JB. The mask cannot be dulled by him. Scal caught up with Jaylen just moments ago.
All right, Jaylen, first of all, congratulations. A hard-fought series. Talk me through from the fourth quarter of last game all the way through to starting this game. It seemed like you and Tatum just went to a different level, and it started early.
Yeah, absolutely. Big-time moments we had to step up, put our team on our back, make sure we played the right way. Give full credit to the Atlanta Hawks, man. Them young boys came out, competed, and made it tough, made some of our matchups tough, but I'm happy we got the win.
Yeah, so do you feel like we just read this stat? When you and Tatum score 30 each, you guys are 22-1. Do you feel like in the playoffs, it's time for the stars to shine? Like, this is why you guys are, the faces of our franchise.
Absolutely, but there's multiple ways to win a game. Tonight that's what we needed, but going down the line, we're going to need some of our guys to step up. Each and every game, it don't got to be pretty. We just got to get it done. Tonight, me and Tatum stepped up big, but going forward, we might need D. White, we might need Malcolm, we might need Smart to lead us in scoring, and we got to get the job done however we can.
All right, talk me through this. You started the half, you were getting downhill. You had 3 very good plays. Your guys took wide open shots and they missed it. But you didn't get discouraged. You kept feeding them the ball. When that's happening, how do you have that balance of, hey, I might need to be the guy that takes the shot, but you kept trusting your teammates?
You got to. You got to. We came a long way. We've been playing the right way all season. So why switch it up now? We got late in the fourth quarter. I got to the paint, found my guys, and was able to perform and make some shots down the line.
I saw you in the elevator, I think, last time, and I said, you like playing in Atlanta. You say, man, it's a lot of pressure here. It didn't look like a lot of pressure tonight. It looked like you had fun right from the start.
Nah, it is. It's always great playing in your hometown. It's a lot of expectations here. I got family, I got friends all in the stands cheering, talking trash, but you got to love it. And it feels even better when you get a win and go back to the crib.
All right, Jaylen, I'm not going to ask you about the Philadelphia 76ers. We'll get into that. Congratulations on this unbelievable series, and good luck moving forward.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Scal.
You got it.
Great work, Scal. That was awesome to see. JB, he needed to take the mask off in Game 4, but here he is catching up with JT, his guy. They shared a moment on the floor after Game 4 as well. But, Eddie, you love to see this between the two stars.
Well, yeah, well, we need it. The one thing is you're not going to win in the NBA if your stars don't show up, and that's for sure. You know, your stars need to be there. Your role players need to show up. And let's talk about Marcus Smart. He's a role player. You talk about Malcolm Brogdon. He's a role player. They showed up. Al Horford, role player, showed up. You know, Rob Williams showed up. Guys showed up, but your stars have to be stars. And 32 and 30 between them two guys. I mean, you heard the record, 22-1 when they're able to do that. So you want to try to duplicate that as much as possible. But when you can't, you need to have help from other guys. And they believe in their role players. They believe in their teammates. And it shows that no matter what, you know, when they go through whatever they've been going through, if it's highs and lows, they find a way to level it out. And they are just better than the other teams when it comes down to it.
They certainly were over the last 6+ minutes of this game against the Hawks. This is closeout basketball. Let's take a look. The Celtics were down at this point, but Jaylen Brown,
Lights
big three. Yeah, no hesitation. And Marcus Smart, the dish to Al Horford.
I just love that Al gets a little bit of redemption. He had been struggling. They were picking on him defensively. Boom, and now you got Tatum. He's going to start taking over a little bit. The defense goes out.
Yes, but that's what it was. It was the defense locked in and got stops. And there was the play of the game in the fourth quarter, the Jason Tatum putback.
And then Smart with his redemption. A couple bad threes, a turnover, I think, when he first came back in, maybe 7 minutes to go. Looked like, oh, man, here we go again. They're going to start fumbling this thing away. Instead, they dig in, find a way to get to the finish line, and now start looking ahead a little bit.
This thing was tied at 113, Eddie, and the Celtics just put their foot down and did what we've all been asking for them to do through this entire series and put their foot on their neck. The stops. I mean, Eddie, I think my favorite moment of the series was when Trae Young and then the Hawks couldn't get the ball in bounds on 4 straight attempts and then ended up giving it away. That is how solid, how strong the Celtics defense was down the stretch.
Yeah, and that's something that I've been talking about all season long is don't allow your offense to dictate how well you play defensively. Make sure you play locked in defense, and then from there, your offense usually flows. And I think that last 6 minutes that you alluded to and you were talking about, that's exactly what happened. It was they got stops. They were able to lock down. They made it tough. They got rebounds. They wasn't given second chance opportunities. There was a spell there where they fouled a couple times, but besides the fouls, I thought they played great defense, and it allowed them to play better offense to get out. And the thing was they were able to get out in random. And what I mean by random is you get a rebound, and now it's a secondary break. It's just, okay, we're flowing, and whatever happens, we're happening, and we're playing that way. You don't have a defense for that. Nobody game plans for random. And so the more that the Celtics could get stops and play out of random because they are, I think they have that many weapons on the offensive end is better for the Celtics.
They did exactly what Marcus Smart said. They played to win, not to lose, not to not lose. As we welcome in Scal back from State Farm Arena. Scal, great job with JB there.
They played to win, not to lose. That's always a tricky one, Abby.
Not exactly sure what it should be. But Scal, JB, coming through. You never told me that thing about pressure. That's huge. Playing in his hometown, he had to switch things up in those earlier games, but came out tonight and was steady, so steady for the Celtics.
So I don't know about you guys, but for me, and it's just been a thing, like when the Celtics collapsed in Game 5, it was this guy blame, that guy blame, and I don't blame. That's not what I do. I don't blame. But I do say this, stars are how you win championships. You remember 3 years ago when Chris Forsberg was doing a trade thing, and I was like, no, these two guys right here, Jaylen and Jason, if we're ever going to win, they're going to deliver. And this is what playoff basketball looks like to me. The stars step up. The stars don't have to shoot the ball every time, and Eddie alluded to that. It's about delivering. It's about being aggressive. It's about letting your talent shine. And Jaylen Brown did that throughout this game. Jason Tatum did that throughout this game. And this is what it should look like every night. Now, you don't have to win every night, but stars should be out there being aggressive, making the plays. That's why they make the big bucks. That's why we make them all NBA. That's why they're the faces of our franchise.
But Eddie, too, those are the margins that Joe Mazzulla talks about all the time, right? Like Scal said, the Jays don't have to make every shot, but they do need to be involved and be impactful on both ends of the floor, and they were tonight.
Yeah, well, when you're a superstar and you're a star of a team, it's not always scoring. It's other ways that you can do it. And here we look at, let me get downhill. Let me start it off, attacking the glass, getting paint touches. Now you want to go under, you get caught up on the screen. I'm gonna knock it in on you. You know what? You do the same thing. I'm gonna do it again. You don't understand that I'm serious out here. I'll get back to the basket and just attacking and being in attack mode from beginning. I think that sets the tone for this team. Not only when it's not all about scoring, it's just about the mentality. It's the mentality of, I don't care what you're throwing at me. I'm going to fight force with force, but smartly. Like, I'm not going to try to get through 3 people and score. No, if I'm going to attract 2, I'm going to find a guy open and let them knock it down. But at the same time, I'm going to read the defense. I'm going to play well on both sides of the floor. And stars have to show up in the playoffs. I don't care about regular season, right? You might can miss a game or here and the other guys lift you up, but mandatory. The stars have to show up, and you hope that the ancillary players, the other guys, the role players can step up, and it'll be a different guy every night in the role player situation, but we got to see the stars every single time.
And I just love how Tatum did a little bit of everything. The 14 rebounds, continuing a trend throughout this series where he was all over the glass. He knew if the big guys were going to try to be boxing out and going to war with Capella, that he had to swoop in and clean up. He was all over it tonight. The 7 assists, just making everyone else better and efficient tonight. 20 shots, but a couple of them were like 2-for-1 situations where he just kind of went quick with a 3. Sort of found his spots, found where to be aggressive, certainly attacking the basket late. And that putback dunk was awesome. They need more of that. They need more of that emotion moving forward, more of that desire. And I know he makes it look easy sometimes, but it's fun when even he gets a little caught up in the moment and understanding the magnitude of what's going on right now.
The Jays combined for 62 points tonight. They are virtually unbeatable when both of those guys have 30 plus.